What is good? What is good, my good YouTube people? Man, we're back for another animated Chainsaw Man chapter review. And I would just like to start with a little clarification about what news is going on. So we saw within the original version of the last panel, it said next week's chapter in 2 weeks will be the final chapters, and many news media outlets have already posted that next week's chapter will be the final chapter of Chainsaw Man. But if you were to update the one on Jump Now, the page on Jump Now, you will see that that text is gone. It's no longer there. It just now goes to will be continue. I don't necessarily know if this means that the last chapter is continuing. I don't know if it's planned or if they didn't mean to reveal or anything like that. Or there could be more chapters coming up ahead. To my knowledge, it just means that they just took it off. We could get one more chapter after, or a couple chapters after, even a part 3 after. But from my knowing right now, we have no idea. But with that out of the way, I like to start off with a quote from a genius. It's actually me that made this quote. A writer can do whatever they want within a series. Their only job is they have to make it believable. And I say this all to say is that I don't think this last couple of chapters was, well, I said last couple. This last chapter was that believable. I'm just sorry. I feel like this was, I want to say a failing at this point. And I'm going to be more crucial because in the past, I've let none of these little things slide, in my opinion, because I felt like we had more time of chapters to rectify or enhance upon these. But seeing that the end is near and we possibly might have the last chapter, next chapter, I'm going to be a lot more crucial. So to start with, the chapter starts with Denji losing and being eaten by the supposed bug devils, which I'm not gonna hold you, I would have loved to at least seen that. Like, that would have been horrific and gruesome. Like, we Chainsaw Mans have a kick out of that. Like, that there would be a nice thing. But Denji just with Paichia talking to him, he said that he's been eaten by devils. Now, like I said, it's possibly happened. Maybe everyone's so scared of them, and like the more people die, the more the fear keeps increasing, and then bam, they took over the world. And Denji, without any way of killing them fully, kind of just got overrun and defeated. Like I said, I would like to see it, but hey, we're getting on to this stuff. Which Denji was like surprised that they got eaten, and Paichia says, well, it happens, and exclaimed that their dream life is over. They can no longer live the dream together. And Paichia mainly saying this was a good thing. And at this point in time, I thought Paichia was gonna say something I said last week's chapter, that like if Denji kind of achieves all of his goals, he's kind of like a dried up man. Like, he no longer has like anything to push forward to. And I slightly agree with this. Because like I was saying to myself, well, yeah, like if he gets what he wants, like then he kind of has to get more and more, or kind of be satisfied with where he is. But it all took a shift when Paichia said to Denji, when Denji was going through his school life and getting closer and getting into contact with Asa, some parts of him was unhappy. Now, that is not necessarily a bad quote, but then he continues that Denji was far happier when he was suffering, fighting devils, and eating bad like beans and bad soy food and all that stuff. And it turns out you had the crappiest but best kind of brain, one that can only find heaven when you're in hell. Now, I feel like this is somewhat of a mistranslation or a misidentification of Denji's character. I'm not gonna lie, Denji was a lot happier in part 2 because I see him smiling a lot more. But I don't think this is Denji's character. You know why? Because Denji had one goal in mind: ladies. And why did he want ladies? Because he wanted to have like 10 or 4 girlfriends. And why? And how was he going to do that? Because of Chainsaw Man. That was the end all be all. It was not Chainsaw. It was Chainsaw Man for good life, good food, but more importantly, girls. And I say this is like bad characterization or bad like incorrect characterization of Denji's character, only because I feel like he got robbed midway. Because I feel like Denji literally was about to go to heaven. Like, he was literally getting the main experience, and like he was craving for it through the beginning of this series. Like, what chapter was it that Denji said he wanted to touch boobs, and then when Makina groomed him and said there's something even more better than boobs? Like, that there was like, I think like I want to say the genesis of Chainsaw Man. Like, at least like Denji's drive like became 100%. Like, the point I'm trying to get across is like, once he set the goal for sex, it was never ever acquired. And I feel like it's different from the power one, because like I've seen people on Twitter said, oh, we're bringing out the theme of when you achieve your goal and it not being what you want to be. Denji didn't get there yet. He got close. He sniffed it, and then it got taken away from him by bugs. Like this is not serious. Like, honestly speaking, I genuinely feel like I don't like this characterization of like Denji's unhappy even when he gets what he wants when he didn't get what he wants. Because I feel like the point of this the point of that whole statement was you're a type of person that, like, I want to say has a grind mentality in which, like, you always not hustle. You love the grind. Like Denji has like this Jeff Bezos billionaire like drive to get rich all the time. He never satisfied. He wants more and more and more. He has to struggle. Otherwise, he doesn't feel like. And I'm not gonna hold you. That doesn't seem like Denji's character to me at all. Like I said, he was having fun when he was in part 1, but I could say that's because Denji's a teenager fighting. He has no responsibilities in life. Like, for all we know, like, having a girlfriend and giving him responsibilities and like maybe getting more better friendships could be the sustainance in the life he has. Because, like, let's be honest, Denji, when he was in working at public safety, had literally nothing. He had to work and be useful or they would kill him. But Denji, well, not to call him stupid, but like, Denji's mindset was like, well, at least I get to eat good food and have fun. Like, he had nothing at ground zero. And like, you can't tell me Denji was not happy when he had power and Aki and all these people around him. Like, no, when he had more relationships and more people that he cared about, he was more happy. That's why Makina took them away from him. When he was at Naita, he was happy. It's just that he wanted to be Chainsaw Man as well. Like, and that's the part that made him sad, that he couldn't be Chainsaw Man. But he was losing literally a part of himself that made him special, that made him him. It's literally well, for most of his life that we got to see the driving force of him. And I don't like this characterization that Denji just, like, he can't be happy without a crappy lifestyle. I feel like he hasn't even got to live. Like, it truly is that. I feel like he hasn't even got to live. And we're telling me that no, he wouldn't be happy in it. He'd just be happy. And to be honest, there's no such thing as 100% happiness. Like, literally, happiness is like a fleeting moment that happens within seconds and minutes. Like, honestly speaking, the only way you can have like true full happiness if you never experience anything bad in your entire life. Like I can literally lose a relative that's very important to me, and I can be very sad. But then I can get married and like be the girl of my dreams and all that stuff. But if I remember my relative wanted to see me get married, that moment will slightly be less happy for me. Like, unless you have no negative experience of life, you can't be happy forever. Like, it's just impossible. So I don't like this narrative, like, that Denji would not have been happy with the potential life he was going to have with Asa in Sex World, like, or whatever. Okay, enough of that rant. But like, back on the chapter, like, I do want to say I do like certain parts of the chapter. Like, before Pachita were to eat himself, I did like that he hugged Denji one last time. That there, I had the feels. It happened so many times. It happened with Aki. It happened with Power. It happened with Pachita too. Even Naita. I love this hugs. Give them lots of hugs. That's a warm feeling. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and then like the second panel to even when Pachita says goodbye and you see the heart gives him a peace sign. I like the peace sign too. You know why? Because yeah, that's Denji. That's Denji saying peace before. It's just the goodbye sign. Even to the final quote. Keep on dreaming, Denji. I'm not gonna hold you, man. Pachita truly did love Denji, man. That was his dog, man. He had that dog in him and on him. Yeah, but I say, and like, it's not that I hate Chainsaw Man. I just say all this to say, like, part 1 was better. Like, I'm tired of holding off, man. Like, this is the ending we're getting. Like, part 1 was just better, man. Like I said, I'm not trying to hate on the series. I'm just saying, like, I want you to go back to where you was. Like, part 1 was more consistent, better. Like, boy, we had so much good. We had better characters in part 1. We had Aki, Power. We had Denji. We had Kishibe. We had so many good characters. We had Keibani. We were rocking with part 1. Part 2, best character we have was Asa. Little D. I'm drawing a blank of names after that. Like, I'm genuinely so. We had Yoshida's part 1. Never forget that. Naita is also part 1. Kishibe, he's non-existent in part 2. Yeah. Like, who we got? Like part 2, Fumiko. We're hyping up Fumiko now. Or we're gonna start hyping up Yura now? Cause I like Yura. I say she's good, but not the fan base apparently. So, yeah. Bar none characters. Arcs. I'm sorry, the Santa Claus arc, fire. Rize arc, it made a whole movie, boy, making billions. I'm joking, but yeah, fire. Like, what are we talking about here, man? Part 1 sweeps. I'm sorry. Like, I've been holding this off. I don't want to say it. It's not finished, but it's looking to be finished next 2 weeks. So yeah, part 1 sweeps. It's not even close. They need at least 20 extra fire gas chapters to catch up, and that's just to be catched up, to be even compared to part 1. That there. Okay, good. I'm airing all my grievances. And then we just see a cabin in which, like I said before, it said final chapter next week, but now they fixed to put to be continue, which will be in the next 2 weeks from now, which could mean anything or everything. We could get part 3 next week, next 2 weeks, or that could be the end of the series. It's gonna be sad for this channel, but yeah, that's just my grievances, and I don't mind him. I kind of do mind him ending the series this way. It's like a bad taste in my mouth. I don't think it's like the worst thing he's ever done, and he has done this, I feel like he did this 2 times with Fire Punch. I remember one time where the main character went somewhere with a friend. They had a talk and a heart-to-heart, and then he came back and a whole bunch of people were gone. I'll leave it at that for like no spoilers. Just as like, just to say, yeah, like, yeah, if you know, you know. But I say all this to say it's kind of like, I wish you would just showed us the Enji Ian. That would have been fun. At least I would have something to go off on, like, so know what happens next. But like, yeah, I feel like we're missing a chapter here. I'm not mad that he just revamped the entire world, by the way. Like, because like apparently Chainsaw Man can have the greatest effect or no effect whatsoever. Like, for all we know, Chainsaw Man could be the creation of devils itself. Like, or for all we know, like, Chainsaw Man has eaten so many things from this world that the world literally is unrecognizable. Because like he erased so many things. But if those things are gone now, are they back? Or are they going with him like this? So we have no idea what the rules is, and it's never been truly clear. It's never been truly all that clear, and I guess for his benefit, because now he can write whatever he wants. We just have to believe it, and some parts I'm just not believing it, especially with the Denji characterization this chapter. But with that, that's really all I have to say. Like I said, this is not something brand new. It's just a feeling I've been having, and like I said, I've been holding off on it because there's still more to come. We don't know this thing. You can't judge a product until it's fully finished, and from where it's looking, unless next week's chapter is 1000% a banger, it's just no way. I don't see it. But yeah, part 1 rocks. Part 2, it's good. It's not terrible. It's just not as good as part 1. But with that, guys, it's been B3. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Sorry if it's been a harsh video, but stay animated. Chainsaw.